Just in the past couple of hours, the U.S. is now saying it is time to evacuate the Middle East. I'm going to share with you the articles, and we're also hearing that at this very moment, Iran, the supreme leader, has now come out and said the U.S. must evacuate because we are kicking them out, because talks have failed and we are about to enter into attacks. And Iran is threatening to attack the United States. The U.S. and Israel are threatening to attack Iran. And it looks like we are about to enter into war. So if you are somebody that has been saying that the Middle East conflict is going to end up in war, it looks like you might be right. Now, it has not officially been announced yet. It has not officially been said that the talks have failed, but it's looking like that is the route we're going. And also, we have heard that the sixth round of talks are now essentially canceled, that they were unable to come to a scheduling agreement, and it looks like things have fallen apart. Hearing is that just in the past couple of hours, the U.S. is now saying it is time to evacuate the Middle East. I'm going to share with you the articles, and we're also hearing that at this very moment, Iran, the supreme leader, has now come out and said the U.S. must evacuate because we are kicking them out, because talks have failed and we are about to enter into attacks. And Iran is threatening to attack the United States. The U.S. and Israel are threatening to attack Iran. And it looks like we are about to enter into war. So if you are somebody that has been saying that the Middle East conflict is going to end up in war, it looks like you might be right. Now, it has not officially been announced yet. It has not officially been said that the talks have failed, but it's looking like that is the route we're going. And also, we have heard that the sixth round of talks are now essentially canceled, that they were unable to come to a scheduling agreement, and it looks like things have fallen apart. Hearing is that
breaking news. Qatar has just struck back, launching an airstrike against Israel, and the geopolitical stage may be on the verge of exploding. Israeli authorities have labeled the offensive an act of war and have already vowed immediate retaliation. What seemed unlikely just yesterday has now become reality. Qatar, once seen as a mediator in regional conflicts, is now taking on the role of direct aggressor. And it is not alone. Hamas has already declared full support and threatens to intensify its attacks against Israel. The Middle East has turned into a ticking time bomb. The UN is calling an emergency meeting. China and Russia condemn the escalation, while Turkey accuses Israel of provoking Qatar's reaction. But the big question hangs over Washington. What will the United States do? If the U.S. supports Israel without restrictions, it risks turning the Persian Gulf into a new epicenter of global war. If it tries to contain the escalation, it may lose influence over its closest ally in the Middle East.
All right. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing the truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's Brother Gabar here from the Indiana camp, coming back at you again with another sit down. As you've seen the videos that I just played, things are heating up in the Middle East again. You know, it's nothing new, you know, to the ones that are watching out there, you know, the ones that are constantly watching. Matter of fact, I can start off with that because this is our job to watch for things like this, you see. And this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. See, so us understanding that, you know, things heating up in the Middle East, things, you know, heating up between America and Israel against the world, you know, it is nothing new to us. We've been preaching this for years now. We've been prophesying it. We've been telling you people that, hey, listen, war will be the end of this place. All right, it will be the end of Esau's kingdom, where he will go into World War III. All right, that is also preached in the book of Revelations. Let me grab that right quick. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, and the word woe goes into death and destruction. All right, and it means bad times. You see? So, and it's not by happen chance, it's not by coincidence that America has been in war for what 90% of this time being a country. All right, they've been in war. They've been dealing with in war, all while America has been a country. You see, and that's just showing you that those people that's in Israel can't be the real people, because it actually specifically says that when the actual people gets back into that land, war is going to be a thing of the past. You see, war isn't going to be in the earth anymore. So if those people are really the people, then why isn't war? Why are the nations warring? You see, it says that in the book of Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, where it says, "What they shall beat their swords and pruning. They shall beat their swords into pruning hooks and their spears into plowshares." You see, and all those are basically are agricultural weapons, things that you use for your garden, to pluck up, to uproot, to lift up the soil, and things like that. You see, because right now we're not in this time of peace and prospering, and trying to rebuild. Right now we're tearing down, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, we're tearing down a society that was found upon it by blood and found upon it by wickedness. You see, so before we set up our righteousness, before we set up a solid foundation, you have to get rid of and you have to destroy the wicked and evil and polluted previous house. Any brother that knows about construction, you just don't go in and just start building on in an abandoned house. That abandoned house has all types of mold, all types of infrastructure. Its infrastructure is messed up. It doesn't have a solid foundation. The drywall's rotted out. There's mold in the wood. You see, the basement floods. So you wouldn't just go there and start just building. You see, you want to just go and start building up in the house. Adding new drywall, adding furniture, building it. No, you would tear down. You would get rid of that house. You would get rid of all of it. You would gut it out, and then you'll get rid of all the you'll get rid of the house in total, and then you'll start from anew. All right. In fact, let me grab that and what is it? 2nd Ezra, the 30. No, it's not 2nd Ezra. It's Sirach. 34 and 34 and 4. It says, "Of an unclean thing," it says, "what can be cleansed? And of that thing which is false, what truth can come?" See? So what we understand that this world, this society that we live in is what is wicked, is corrupt, it's a shroud of darkness. There's all type of lies and hypocrisy going on. So we wouldn't try to build our kingdom. We wouldn't try to build the kingdom of heaven within this world. All right. Even though spiritually we are building the kingdom of heaven, because each single one of us brothers are the laying block of the foundation for the kingdom of heaven. But we wouldn't actually manifestly start building it here. You see, whether we was actually in Israel, because best believe there's actually Israelites in Israel. I'm talking about, that look like the so-called white man, but they're actually really Israelites. You see, because we're scattered, amongst all the nations. You see, so just because there's actually Israelites over there, doesn't mean that what is it? Doesn't mean that we're supposed to start up the kingdom of heaven right now. You see, we have to put down Esau. We have to put down all his society and everything that he stands for before we can come, before we establish any type of righteousness. You see what the scripture says in 2nd Ezra. Brothers already know where I should be going. This 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." See, so at the end of Esau's rulership, at the end of his reign, when the Lord comes back and destroy him through what? World War III, which the scriptures call the Armageddon, in the Hebrew, which means mountain of troops, which just shows you that it's going to be a heavy, war over there in the Middle East. As you heard that one video says, hey, is Middle East becoming the new battleground, and it's gonna get real hectic. And guess what? The Valley of Jehoshaphat. Matter of fact, let me grab that. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew means Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Lord's judgment, is where he's gonna start the World War III. Is where he's gonna break off. You see, that's where he's gonna gather the nations, because the Lord said what his determination is to gather the nations. All right. Well, I'm gonna get that after this. This is Joel chapter 3 in verse. I'm gonna start from 1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, says I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat." Like I said, the word Jehoshaphat goes into the Hebrew word Yahweh Shaphat, which means what? His Yahweh's judgment. All right, that's where he's gonna go and judge the nations. You see, every single one of them. All right, it says, and I will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and imparted my land. See, so that's what all this turmoil starting up in the Middle East. This is all the according to the Lord's determination. All right, not this time, Satan. This is Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." See, so that just shows that what the Lord's going to use these intercontinental ballistic missiles to what? Destroy and to plead for Israel and to judge these other nations. You see, so it's going to be what the scriptures also says in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 9 and 5, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with a confusing noise and garments rolled in blood." Because what? In the ancient world, what we actually had sword and shield, axes and maces and shit like that to actually go to war with. You see, when you go and it's always what? Confusing noise. You got shields clacking together, swords clacking. You hear people screaming. But what? In your garments, what your materials roll in blood because it was like close up combat. All right. But what? It's not going to be like that this go round. All right. It says what? But this war, this judgment is what? Shall be with burning and fuels of fire, which means what? It's going to be with missiles. All right. Missiles are going to be the war, the fighting instruments in this war. All right. That's why war is such on the brink. That's why you hear it everywhere. Which it says, it talks about that in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. All right. That says kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. All right, everything is going to be at conflict for one another. All right, because what? The peace, the kingdom is not yet. So everything's not going to be at peace. Everything's not going to be at rest until Yahweh Shah comes back. But before Yahweh Shah comes back, war is a must. All right. War is imminent, I should say. All right. So when we post articles like this, man, when like I said, man, it's for us brothers that's in the know that's been posting videos like this, man. This is nothing new to us. We sound like we're just basically still warning and still showing showing forth evidence that hey, it's still coming. But for you people out there, y'all not most of y'all is not gonna take heed. Most of y'all is gonna think of it as a joke. It ain't going, it ain't going to fly. It's going to go over some people's head. But y'all the people we're not really worried about. All right, we're doing this for twofolds. One, to make sure we are doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. All right, which is what, warning the people. That's the job of being a prophet, and also for what the elect out there who's actually going to take heed. The prudence, which means what, they're able to foresee the evil and hide themselves. All right, they see what this world is going to, and they're not okay with it. They have a problem with the way this world is being ran. All right, because spiritually they understand that they know that this world is supposed to be ran up under the law, the statutes, laws, and commandments. That's why we have such a problem with this place. That's why the things that are happening for a reason. All right, but that's all I had. Lord, I hope this video is edifying for you brothers out there. So until next time, I want to say shalom.